Okay, let's take a look at problem 3. Graphing a direct variation. Space exploration. Weight on Mars, Y, varies directly with weight on Earth, X. The weights of the science instruments on board the Venus-Mars lander on Earth and Mars are shown. So the weight on Mars and then the weight on Earth. This is 50 pounds and this is 130 pounds. It says, what is the equation that relates the weight in pounds on Earth, X, and weight on Mars, Y? Well, we have the direct variation equation, y equals kx. And if we plug those values in, remember, Mars was y, so y is 50. And Earth was x, and x is 130. And they're both in pounds. So if I divide 130 by 50, I get 0.38 equals k. So y equals 0.38x is my equation. So it says, what is the graph of the equation? It says, make a table of the graphs, then draw the graph. So I have 0. If I plug in 0, I get 0. If I plug in 50, 50 times 0.38 gives me 19. I plug in 100, 100 times 0.38 gives me 38. And I plug in 150, 150 times 0.38 equals 57. And these values are all random, okay? Let's look at guided. It says the weight on the moon varies directly with the weight on Earth. A person who weighs 100 pounds on Earth weighs 16.6 pounds on the moon. What is the equation that relates weight on Earth, X, with weight on the moon, Y? What is the graph of this equation? So we have again our direct variation. Y equals kx. And Y is moon, and X is Earth. And I want to find that equation. So a person who weighs 110 pounds on Earth, so X is 100, sorry, just 100 pounds, not 110 pounds on Earth. And when they're on the moon, I think it was 16.6 pounds. Let me just verify that. Yes. So now we can plug it in to find out the equation. So Y is 16.6 pounds. K is 100. Sorry, not K is 100. I don't have an eraser. I'm looking for K. So my X is 100. I'm going to divide both sides by 100. And I get K equals 0.166. So my equation is, or my direct variation equation is y equals 0.166x. Okay. It says, what is the graph of the equation? Now I can go through and I can make I can do everything that they did here. And I'm just using my free graphing calculator at www.desmos.com. So I have y equals 0.166x. And there's the equation. I can make a chart. And these are the values. So if I plug in, of course, if I plug in 0, I get 0. If I plug in 1, I get 0.66. If I plug in 2, remember these are any values you want, and so on and so forth. And I hope that this helps.